Good day children, Sai Ram. Today we will start with our second lesson, Europe and India. In the previous lesson we have learned that this year we are going to learn about the modern history of India. In your 5th standard you will have learned about the ancient history, in your 7th standard you will have learned about the medieval history, and in your 8th standard you are going to learn about the modern history. So let's start with our lesson, Europe and India. Now, before we learn the history of India, history of modern India, let's learn about the European history. Now, why are we going to learn about the European history? Because the history of Europe, directly or indirectly, influences the history of India. So, let's see in this lesson the history of Europe. This is your world map, which is also showing you Eurasia, that is Europe and Asia. Let's start with our first topic, that is Renaissance. What is Renaissance? Renaissance means the changes brought about in the society of Europe in the last phase of the medieval period, that is from 13th to 16th century, mainly in the field of science, geography, discoveries, ideas of the people. This is called as Renaissance. What is Renaissance? Changes in the European society. That is called as Renaissance. Here is a picture of a church from inside. It is the inside part of the church in Europe. Now, why did I show you this picture of a church? Let's see in this part. Firstly, we'll talk about the changes brought about in the religious reforms. What is religious reforms? There were certain changes brought about in the religion, because of which there was awakening in the people of Europe. Previously, European society was totally under the influence of the Christian church. That means they were under the influence of the nobles, the priests, the kings. Whatever the nobles, priests and kings said or made them do, they had to do it. The Christian priests were taking undue advantages of the ignorance of the people. That means the people were not hardly knowing anything. They were ignorant. They were not knowing what is going on in the world and what they should do. They were not able to reason also, because of which we can call them as ignorant. So, they were taking advantage of the ignorance of the people and making them do or perform unnecessary rituals and looted them in the name of religion. They told the people that if you don't do this ritual, God is surely going to get angry on you. And because of which you have to do this ritual. And under this, they used to loot the commoners. But to put an end to all these things, many of the reformists came up. There were some people who saw the condition of the commoners and they started telling the people the fact that they should not believe the priest at all. They should reason out whatever the priest is telling them. They have to reason out. Just blindly don't believe in them. You should only read the Bible yourself. There is no need of any priest to read out the Bible to you. Whatever is given in the Bible, that is only the fact. Don't believe in other people. Have faith in your own self. This was told by the reformists to the people, and because of which there was an awakening among the people. And this type of awakening brought by the reformists is called as religious reforms. So everybody has understood what is religious reforms? To put an end all the problems caused by the nobles, priests and kings. The reformists brought about an awakening among the people. This is called as religious reforms. Next topic we are learning is Changes in the field of art. Like the religious reforms, there were many other fields also in which there were changes brought about. The next year we are going to talk is in the field of art, the changes that brought about in the field of art. Art here means drawing. Drawing or art was totally dependent previously in the ancient time. The art means it is limited only to kings, nobles, kings and queens. The commoners were nowhere. They were not allowed to draw any of the common person's picture. But some of the people like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, etc. There were many others also. What they did, they brought about a change in the field of art. How did they bring a change in the field of art? By including human emotions. What is the meaning of human emotions? Anger, jealousy, all this is called as human emotions. And sentiments were also brought up into the art. One such painting here we are talking is about Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. Now what is this Mona Lisa painting? It is a painting of a common girl. It is a painting of a common girl depicting her beautiful smile. A smile means again comes human emotions. Through the smile, human emotions are coming out. And here the girl shows a common girl. Then, Leonardo da Vinci also became very much famous for his second painting, that is Last Supper. Now, what is this Last Supper? Last Supper means the last dinner. Before Jesus Christ was crucified, he had his dinner with all his 12 disciples. And this dinner is called as Last Supper. So here is the famous painting of Leonardo da Vinci, Mona Lisa and Last Supper. Changes in the field of literature. Let's talk about the changes in the field of literature. Literature is the books which gives the people the real knowledge. That is called as literature. Let's see how the changes were brought about in the field of literature. Johannes Gutenberg discovered the printing press in the year 1450 AD. Because of this printing press, what happened? He could print more books, and these books could reach out to the common people and would let out new ideas to them, new concepts to them and knowledge to them, so that all the sections of the society receive these books and have the ideas, concepts and knowledge. Previously, there was hardly only one book, that is the Bible. And one or two magazines were there which were just circulated among the kings and nobles. The commoners were not allowed to read and write. So, here is the change brought about by Johannes Gutenberg by inventing the printing press. So, everybody has understood the change brought about in the field of literature. Here is a picture of Johannes Gutenberg printing press. Next thing we'll talk about is the geographical discoveries. Now, what are geographical discoveries? In 1453, the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. Istanbul. Today's Istanbul is the capital of Byzantine Empire. Now, what is the main reason of this? The Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. Thus, this Constantinople had a place wherein the only land route passed from Europe and Asia. Was connecting Europe and Asia, the only land route was passing from here. And now this was captured by the Turks and they blocked it. They did not allow, they closed it, we can see. Because of which it became very much necessary to discover new routes now. So, some of the European sailors started on their geographical discoveries. Like B. Dias, a sailor, Portuguese sailor, in 1487 set out to discover India and landed at the tip of the African continent. Later, it came to be known as Cape of Good Hope. A second sailor was Christopher Columbus, who also set on his way to discover India and landed on the eastern coast of American continent and discovered America in 1492 AD. So he was also not successful in finding India or discovering India. A third sailor was Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese sailor. He was successful in passing the Cape of Good Hope and reaching out to India's coast in Calicut in 1498 AD. At last, India was discovered by Vasco da Gama. This is the picture of Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama. Scientific beliefs. Now, there were certain superstitious beliefs in the European society also. For example, the earth is flat, that was a belief. Then the sun is moving around the earth, that was a belief. Then the movement of the earth and the movement of the planets and the stars have very much ill effects on the life of the people. This were the superstitious beliefs in the European society. So these beliefs was put to an end by some of the geographers. They told the people that they discovered and told the people that the earth revolves around the sun. The sun is not revolving around the earth is revolving around the sun. Yes or no, children? You all must be knowing that the earth is revolving around the sun. Then, the movement of the stars and planets does not have any ill effects on the human life. The stars and planets are thousands and miles, kilometers away from us. How will they have any effect on the life of the common people, on the life of the people? So this is also a false belief. Third thing is the earth is not at all flat. The earth is spherical in shape or round in shape. This was the scientific beliefs put up by the geographers. This is a picture of the sun and the planets. Nextly, we'll learn about revolution in political system. Now that there was so much of awakening in the European society, so were the people be ready to be working under the king now? Will they allow any king to rule over them? No. So political system was revolutionized in Europe. Correct. At the starting of the beginning of the modern period, political changes started taking place. The ultimate power which was there in the hands of the king was restricted. Limited only power was given to the king. Restful power was under the parliamentary democracy. A parliamentary democracy was developed in England. You all must be knowing in India also we are having a parliamentary democracy. That means the power is no more in the hand of one person, it is in the hand of the many people, or we can say the commoners. The Bill of Rights was passed in the year 1689. According to this, certain restrictions were put on the powers of the kings, the nobles. They were not allowed to interfere anymore in the parliamentary democracy, in the sovereignty or the freedom of parliament. There was no interference of the kings and nobles. So this was the political system brought about in European society. Now, as the revolution had taken place, let's talk about the American War of Independence. Due to the revolution in Europe, a lot of revolution had taken place in Europe. Changes were brought about in Europe. Then geographical discoveries were done, and one such geographical discovery was America. So, what did the European countries do? They started turning their attention towards this American continent. They went over there, they started establishing their colonies over there. They started making this continent the marketplace, a permanent marketplace for them. There were some imperialistic European countries. The imperialistic European countries were there who took full control of America and established their colonies. What is the meaning of imperialistic over here? That means the dominating countries, the countries which are having more colonies. That is called as imperialistic. And one such country was England. England had 13 colonies on the eastern coast of America. Can you imagine 13 colonies on the coast of America? Previously, England was a nominal type of domination was there, which was bearable by the natives of America. But later on, they started laying down oppressive restriction taxes on the natives of America, which the natives of America did not like at all. They believed that this is our country. Why should a foreigner come and collect taxes from us? So, the natives of America were very angry, and they started revolting against it. Going against it, revolting against it. They said that we are not going to pay any taxes to the foreigners. One such was the famous incident of Boston Tea Party, which took place in the Boston Harbor. A ship was anchored off England with tea boxes in it. In this ship, some of the natives of America dressed up like the England people and went into the ship and started throwing the chest or boxes into the water. Previously, they were just throwing the boxes, but their leader instructed them to open the boxes fully and throw it into the water, because of which the water was full with tea leaves. So we call this as Boston Tea Party. This went on for nearly 3 hours. Till that time, the defense of England were just around them and looking at them. And the natives of America were just going on throwing the tea leaves into the water. The Englands were very much angry upon this, and they decided to start a war against America. The Americans were also no less. They also organized their army under the leadership of George Washington. Here is a picture of George Washington. Under the leadership of George Washington, the Americans started a war against England, in which they won the war. They won the war against England. And this event came to be known as American War of Independence. Now, after this war, the nation was given a new name called as United States of America. with a federal government, written constitution based on principles of democracy, and a new nation was born under the leadership of George Washington, later who later became the President of America. Taking into consideration the struggle of the American War of Independence, the French Revolution also started. The causes of the French Revolution. Let's see the causes. In 1789, there was a ruler called as King Louis XVI. He was a very oppressive and unjust ruler. People did not like him at all because he was more interested in enjoying his own life. He was more interested in hunting than governing his subjects. So the people were very much unhappy about their king, and they did not like the king at all. He misused all the power. The king, he was misusing all the political powers and arresting anyone and putting them into the prison without any trial. What is the meaning of this, without trial? You all know, when a criminal is caught doing any crime, he has to be first put in front of a jury where the person is allowed to defend himself. That is called as trial. But here the king was not allowing that also. He was just catching hold of the people and putting them into the prison, which was not at all liked by the people. Next thing is the nobles and the priests. They also enjoyed their life along with the king, while the common people were forced to pay their share of heavy taxes too. Whatever tax the nobles and the priests have to pay, in fact, the commoners were supposed to pay them. That means the nobles and the priests were exempted from all the taxes, and heavy taxes was paid by the commoners. So all this was becoming too much for the common people. The common people were getting more and more angry about this. So let's see what was the effect of this. This is King Louis XVI. Let's see the effects. All this led to the outburst of the people. Outburst, that means the lava had come up now. The people got very angry. And what they did? They stormed the Bastille prison on July 14, 1789. And why this Bastille prison only? Because Bastille prison was a symbol of injustice to the people. And so the people attacked on that only and set free all the prisoners from that prison. After that, there were many other revolts also done by the French people. All this led to the overthrow of the king. Overthrow of the king here means the monarchy came to an end and established a republic in France. The French Revolution also gave to the world the three values of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Many of the countries after this took up these three values for fighting their independence. And one such country is India also. India also, when they were fighting for freedom, we used this liberty, equality, and fraternity as our values too. This is a picture of the Bastille prison which was stormed by the people. That's all, children, about this part of the lesson. Thank you.